Sometimes it might rain, sometimes it might snow. Sometimes you might cry, be sad, you know what that's shades of a man, baby. Shades of a man. Shades of a man. Sometimes you might stop, sometimes you might go. You might make mistakes, but that's just how you grow. Shades of a man, baby. Shades of a man. Shades of a man.
Welcome to another episode of the Shades of a Man podcast. You know, this podcast is all about men really opening up. It's about women opening up. It's about grieving. It's about recovering. It's about going through things and surviving. Not only, I shouldn't even say surviving, thriving. And sometimes we go through things and at the time we think it's the worst thing ever, but really it saves our lives. Today I'm here with Will Barber, and I confused him with a barber. But he's not a barber, but his name is Will Barber. What's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I met Will not too long ago, maybe I would say 3 months ago we do a brotherhood yoga, and he came into yoga and he caught my attention because when he told a piece of his story, I was like, it just, my eyes lit up and I was like, God was like, yo, you need him on your podcast because you wrote a poem 20 years ago called 21 Years. And the poem kind of identifies in some ways with his life. So before we get into the show, we always read the poem to kind of set the stage for the show. So I'm going to read this poem. And as y'all all know, I only memorize 2 poems in my life. And those are the first 2 I wrote. And now everything else I'll read off the paper because it's a lot of work memorizing stuff. So here we go. This one is called 21 Years. I'm not going to give you any details of what that means. Just listen. I saw and heard a man today speak words that touched my soul and moisturized my eyes. His story common in the ghetto, yet his future has a new face. His present lit up the room with an ambiance brighter than any form of light. The shadows of his darkness. Let me say that again. The shadows of his darkness have been lost in his rehabilitation. And really his rehabilitation, not the rehabilitation system. Let's make that clear. And I'm breaking this poem up a little bit. Each glance into his eyes confirmed his confidence and placed fear in those observing. Not the fear of physical aggression, but the fear of a servant of God has when he sins. Each word was a thorn that opened up the minds of the youth and scorned them with reality. This man still nameless to the audience, yet they will remember his face, his vision. He was born a natural leader who was led to a cage, now free a soaring falcon, living to break the cycle for him and those who don't understand what 21 years are. So when you hear that poem, like what comes to mind? What resonates with you?
Somebody that really went through some stuff, struggle. They had to really find their way. That's what resonated with me.
Right. So a little bit of background on it. The man spoke. He was charged with murder at age 17. So he was a child, essentially, a little boy charged with murder, and then he did 21 years in prison. And then he was out when I met him, he was on parole, and he was speaking to our kids in a Scared Straight program. And he was still going to be on paper for about 10 years after, his parole. if I can remember. It was 20 years ago, so I think it was 10 more years. But he just explained the story about like how 10 years in, like everything started to click for him. Like once he started reading and getting into his own mind, like everything started to change. So, um, if you were to introduce yourself to the audience, how would you introduce yourself? Like if I was just like, well, tell these people who you are, what you are, how would you do that?
I give them an introduction, who I am, where I came from. Like my name is Will. I'm from Toledo, Ohio, born and raised. Been moving around a lot. Was a little defiant kid growing up. Went through the in and out of the system. You know, got lost in a foster home. My mom lost her mom. Her dad molested her. She lost me, my brother, my oldest brother, my older sister, my little sister. So it was four of us. She lost them, but she got 9 kids. She lost two of them. So we was in the system. Till I was in the system till I was like 9. Not 9, I'm lying. Till I was like 12 years old. I went back with my auntie. My foster mom gave me over to my foster auntie. And from my foster auntie gave me over to my mom. Now at that time, when I was going to my foster auntie, I started skipping school. For no reason. I started to become more defiant. I got back with my mom. Now my mom, she young. She's still running the streets. My brother running the streets. So this is all new to me. So I'm going through that, seeing that's a new life to me versus coming from a structured home and a foster home to coming to a home that had no structure. Mom everywhere, she pregnant, running the streets still. It's like, damn, what's going on? This is new to me. So now I'm becoming influenced by my surroundings, my environment. So it's like once I got introduced to that life, it changed. It's like it changed who I was. And that person who I became at that time, that wasn't me. I was searching for my identity. So if we was to narrow the person I am today, I'm a man of God. You feel what I'm saying? I got very good faith in him. You feel what I'm saying? I listen to him every night, every morning. I keep him strongly in my heart. I'm a man of integrity, honesty, loyalty. You know, if I say my word, I give you my word, that's what I stand by. If I say I'm gonna do something, I don't do it, I'm gonna let you inform me that I didn't do it or this is why. I ain't gonna leave you stranded and strain you alone. What else? But I'm a person you can really depend on. I'm a person that really get down on my business. I'm about my business. I'm trying to get there. I'm a hustler. I'm trying to get there by any means. Legitimately now, not illegally. I'm on a new path now. I don't need the stuff I know now. I wish I knew back then. It's a whole lot out there.
Right. So now that people have a small, because that's really a small, like a microscope shot of like your life, because there's a lot of other things that probably happen within that.
Yeah, cause I listen. I could go in. It'd be a whole.
Yeah.
I go in
know.
Now.
And so I don't want to start like with, I want to really start on the date what you want to run. I don't want to start with what you did and all that stuff because that's really not important. Okay. I want to start when you was on right before you got arrested, like the moments, maybe seconds before you were put in cuffs. Mm-hmm. What was going through your mind? Like, what were you really thinking?
Like the minute I got put in cuffs,
yeah,
I'm like, damn, I got caught. I'm leaving my woman, her daughter behind. I'm like, damn, I'm about to go do a long time. I just knew it. I felt it. I'm like, I'm about to be going away for a long time. She was like, ain't no way out of this. Regardless of if they didn't send me to prison in PA, I was going to Ohio for a long time. But it was like, it might sound crazy, but once I got locked up and I went to prison or went to jail, I was kind of happy. And it's sad to say because it's like I ain't had no structure, no guidance, no nothing. So I was like, it saved me from death. It saved me from life in prison. It gave me another chance to rebuild myself, recreate myself. The real me, not what the streets made me to be. So that's what I was kind of thinking. Once that moment I got locked up and it's like, all right, yeah, it was time to change. I swear it was like something hit me. It was like God. That's why I say I'm a believer of God, because it was like he sat me down. I swear it is. The thing came in my head like, yeah, I'm gonna sit you down. It's a time to change right now. It's now. Even though it took me a long time, it took me a massive long time because I was still young. I'm 18. Went to court on my birthday. They gave me 2 to 4 years. So it was like, hey, I'm young. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I ain't got no guy, no older, nobody older. I'm out here. I'm surrounded by wolves. I'm like a sheep, basically, but I ain't. I'm with that. I'm with it, with all that come with it. But it was like, where do I start? I knew I was lost, but I wanted to be found. Like, where do I start? I was going from reading different religious books. I was reading everything, trying to have some understanding about me, but it wasn't about the book. It was about searching within myself, not a book, not none of that. You got to dig with deep within yourself and God. That was the only way I really would found myself. So from that point, it was like, yeah, I gotta sit down. So I'm seeking. I'm going from prison. They sent me to prison. I'm in there. I'm clowning. I'm acting silly, but I'm new in there. So I'm fresh in the gate in prison. And they like, I'm like, man, I'm trying to educate myself. I told my cellie that. He said, you should start off reading a book, reading a dictionary. Malcolm X did it. I'm like, I don't think I could do that. I kept self-doubting myself. So after that, they sent me to another prison. And from that prison, I grabbed a little small dictionary. It wasn't nothing crazy. But coincidentally, the dude gave me a Malcolm X book and a dictionary. I didn't ask for it. He just gave it to me. I'm like, man, I need something to read. And from that point, it was just, I was learning. People was calling me weird because I sat by myself a lot of times. I was more like on an introvert. Like, I ain't want to be bothered. I just wanted to be by myself, sit around, analyze stuff, and like, damn, is that me? No, that ain't me. I wanted to get in stuff because I was young, doing the dumb stuff, throwing stuff on the CO, catching extra time in the joint, probation, stuff like that. But I'm like, this ain't me. I'm only doing this for the people. This ain't me. But as that time, even though I was getting in the mix, I was still searching. I didn't stop. I didn't allow the stuff I was getting to stop me from searching for my identity. So I kept going. I got to another prison. They said after that, I got to another prison. I'm sitting down. Now I'm around people that's more enlightened, people that's more educated, people that's reading books and stuff like that. So they put me on and stuff. And now at this time, I really didn't know how to read or write or nothing like that. I could barely read, like, all right, I know words, but I didn't know how to structure a sentence and nothing like that. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get in school. Try to get in school. I was in there acting a clown, gang banging. I'm getting kicked out with knives and stuff like that. So it's like, dang, what am I gonna do? I dropped out of school. Now while I'm in prison, I dropped out. I'm like, nah, forget this, man. I can't do this. So now I'm back to square one. I'm back to gang banging. I'm back to stealing. I'm back to doing this, but I'm still reading. I'm still searching. I'm still building though. And you got the old head now. You got people in there that's watching over, like, hey, man, that ain't it. So I'm trying to gravitate towards the more older, wiser guys that have been in prison a long time. They have programs in there. They running programs. They've been around a long time. I hung with a lot of lifers because I could get more out of them. They read, they studying, and they giving me a lot of wisdom. Like, hey, man, what you gonna go out there and do? And me being young, I think like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start me a business. I'm gonna start me. But I didn't have no plan. I ain't write nothing down. I'm just saying stuff just to make it sound good. But they was telling me like, how you gonna do that? Man, they was making fun of me. How you gonna do that? How you gonna run a business? Do you know what this is? A LLC is? Or this eliminate? You know all that? I'm like, no, I don't know what that is. But so I started reading books. I started reading. So after that, this all in Pennsylvania at the time. So I don't know nobody out here. I'm by myself. And this is why I said I was happy because I was out there by myself. I ain't know nobody. Versus if I would have went to Ohio, I wouldn't be the person I am today. Me and you wouldn't even met today. I'd probably be dead or doing life because I was so itching for a body. Like I got a tattoo across my chest, like shoot to kill. I had that gun in my hand. I was trying to kill somebody. Anytime it was an altercation, I had the gun on. I was trying to kill somebody. But it was like God was on my side, like chill, young buck, just sit down. But I was just trying to take somebody's life just to show I was down on some weird. That was weird to me. As I got older, it was like, man, I was trying to do that. I was crashing out. Didn't even know it. 17 years old, 18 years, I'm crashing out for no reason. Anybody say something out their mouth, I'm shooting for no reason. Oh, you got something on you? I'm shooting you. We shooting people for no reason. And it was like, damn. And I sat back and thought about it. I'm like, we're crashing out. So now back to where we was in PA. Once I maxed out that 2 to 4 years, I was clowning. I was on school time, dropped out. They sent me to Ohio. Now, at this time, I did this 4 years in Pennsylvania. I'm more conscious and aware of who I am as a black man and what type of system I was in, how I was affected, how my surroundings affected me, how I was influenced. Now I'm a thinker. Now I'm on top of it. I'm still a little rusty with the writing, but I'm on top of it now. So I get to Ohio. I'm in there. Now I'm all around my peers, the people I grew up with. And I'm sitting in there. I'm looking like, dang, my mind, I outgrew them. They ain't on what I'm on now. I'm thinking on business term now. I'm thinking like, man, how we gonna get this money? Man, there's so much stuff out there. I'm still young. I still don't know. I'm telling you right now, I still don't know. I ain't got it all figured out. Cause I'm still talking about selling some, doing a little this, doing a little that, doing a little legal stuff. Being honest, but I'm still more pushed towards being legit. So I'm like, dang, I got it. So I'm in there. My brother come in there. Now he in and out. While I'm doing this 13, then in 13 and a half years, he in and out, in and out. He sat down for 5 years. He get out. He's still in and out. I'm like, damn, I got another 4 years after he did that 5. He's still in and out. Every 4 months he come in and go to prison for 9 months, 6 months. So now they sent me when they sentenced me 9 years, nobody didn't believe. I'm like, yeah, I got that. I went to another county because I caught another case in another county for taking the police on a high-speed chase. I took the police on a high-speed chase. That caught me at 6 months. So now I got 9.5 years. I already did 4 years, so I got extradited to this other prison. To Ohio. So they send me 9 years. I go to the joint. Now I'm in a joint. I'm in a level 2. So I'm in here. I'm around my hood homies. All the dudes I grew up with. It's going. It's drugs this, drugs that. So now I'm trying to get in the mix. I see it's easy money. I can't go to jail for it. So in my mind, like, oh, I can get away with this. All this money around here, they making hundreds of thousands in a joint. Phones everywhere, Suboxone, meth. I'm like, oh, I could make this money. But I wasn't even in a position to be set up like that. So I'm like, yeah, I could do this. I could do this. Now I'm in the way for real. I'm trying to make a little money stealing, kicking boxes. What kicking boxes is people got a box where they store their commissary, and I'm taking that, popping the lock off of it because I'm young. I ain't got no support. My support system is not how it should or supposed to be. Because I really didn't build that. As in, I was out there wilding and doing all that. So I really had that support system that I needed to feel love. You feel what I'm saying? They wasn't coming and visit me or nothing like that. So I'm like, sure, I got to get it on my own. So I'm still, now at this time, even though I'm more conscious and aware of what I'm doing, I feel so guilty. I'm like, dang, man. So I'm trying to figure out a way. I'm hustling now. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. I'm still stealing. I'm still doing that. But it's like, this 9 years I got 9. I'm like, I got to survive. I got to eat. So I'm in there kicking boxes. I'm doing this. I'm taking people's cell phones. I'm hitting COs with battery. I'm doing all the wildest stuff in there. So I'm like, I got to.
1 second. I have a question. So people really understand what you're saying. So even in prison where they provide 3 meals, a place to sleep, everything, you still feel like you have to make money and you have to survive. Right. It's still that kind of mindset.
You see, you feel what I'm saying? You should have that mindset. You'd be like, damn, at night I'm home. I don't want to keep begging this dude for nothing. But there's a lot of stuff you could do in there on the legit side, sell stuff. You could be creative in there. But I'm like, man, I want the fast money, what they making. They over here making $2,500 in 5 minutes. I'm trying to make that type money. Or I got there. So I'm like, oh, this is what it's like. And so I'm getting in trouble trying to find that when I should have been in school. So now I'm in Ohio. I go back to school. I drop out. I say, yeah, I dropped. Forget that, man. I need to do something else. I made the lit teacher cry. She kicked me out. And all hell from there. I joined this program. I'm in there, but I'm still by myself. I ain't want to be bothered with nobody. I just want to sell the drugs and be by myself, and get out of there, read books, and find myself, walk by myself. If you wasn't on money time, I wasn't really trying to kick it with you. I ain't want to talk about no women or how we used to rob. All my dudes came in there. I ain't want to trying to kick it with them. But even though I was kicking them, but I'd be sitting back or I'd be kicking them. I'd be sitting back like, damn, this ain't even me. But my loyalty, I grew up with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm attached to them because it's all I know. Now I'm back with them, but I'm more conscious. I'm like, yeah, that ain't. Bro, that stuff played out, man. We got to talk about something better. Even though I'm still in the
So
midst of selling drugs, I'm like
I
a
want to
hypocrite.
interrupt you for a second. I want to interrupt you because I want to ask a question. And
Yep.
and the question is what, when you're doing all of this, like really, is I feel like you didn't know, like you didn't really know what to do. So when
Right.
you don't know what to do, you're just trying everything to kind of just do something.
Right.
And what happened? Like after all of that, what happened that finally made you say, you know what? I want a different life. Like I really want to get out of it. I really want to get it out of this type of situation.
It was like, for me, it's just going home. I want to get out of the situation. I want to go home and do right. I ain't want to come back in or be like everybody else. Man, when I'm telling you, I did that 9 years in Ohio, not the 4 years in Pennsylvania, that 9 years in Ohio, 9 years and 3 months. I seen so many people come back. Now back to what I'm saying, I'm conscious. I'm aware of how the system is. The recidivism rate is so high. They return within 3 years, less than that. So I'm looking like, damn, I don't want to do that. Even though I'm still in here selling drugs, my actions ain't lining up what my thoughts are saying. I'm selling drugs, but I'm like, I don't want to come back to prison. I don't want to come back. I'm selling drugs in prison. I'm like, but in my mind, I'm like, I could get away with it. I can't go to jail. Only thing you can do with me is put me in the hole. They can't give me a new case because they ain't gonna catch me. I'm flushing it. I'm doing this. I would be ready to fight you before I give it to you, because that's another case. But it was like me going home and really changing, showing my mother, my nieces and nephews, my little brother that I left when he was 2 years old when I left. So it was like really showing him. I ain't really want to show him the lifestyle my oldest brother's still doing. That wasn't me. So it's like me going home. I wanted to like show them a different side, like they never seen. It was like, yeah, okay, you hear jail talk, you doing this, you doing that. Now I'm out in Connecticut. Now I'm doing things. Now I'm trying to put myself out there. I'm trying to network. And they was like, okay, I see you. And I'm telling my mom, see the talk that I was having in prison on the phone with her about being a businessman and stuff. I'm still having that same talk. Now it's about aligning myself around them type of people, going to certain events, putting myself out there and surround myself around like-minded individuals. And so they see that they're like, okay, I respect that. I'm working out. This is my first job ever. So, you know what I'm saying?
So I'm doing some numbers now. I want because I want to
Yep.
get these numbers right. So you when you on Halloween when you started your spree that ended you in prison, that was
Yeah.
Halloween. You were 17.
Yeah. No, I
Se-
just turned 18.
so you
Or
just
just
turned 18.
Yep.
All right. So at 19, because you said you got arrested around your birthday.
Yeah. I got arrested in December, and 4 months later, which is my birthday, I got they sent me to court on my birthday, and they gave me 2 to 4 years
Okay, so
in
that's at 19.
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
So
18
how many?
turning, yeah, 19. Yep, basically, yep.
So you did. So you how many years? How many years did you do in Pennsylvania?
4 years.
So you did 4 in Pennsylvania. So you like 23, and then you got out,
Yep. I was
and then you went right, and you
18,
went back for how
17.
many?
I was 22 years. I never got out.
Oh, you
They
never got out.
extradited. I never got out. That's why I say
Oh,
13
because
years.
you had to do the other cases.
The other case, right? So they sent me to
Mm,
Ohio. From Ohio, I got 9 years in Toledo. Then I went to Port
mm.
Clinton, which is another town outside of Toledo, and they gave me 6 months. I got some of the time knocked down based on good behavior or going to school. I was at the end, like I told you, I got my GD. I went to school. That was the one thing I wanted at the end. I'm like, forget all this drug selling, all these cell phones. I needed one thing, man. I studied hard for that.
GED.
The
And
GD, I'm like,
when you got out of prison, how old were you?
32.
32. And how old are you now?
Man, man, I don't know. Time you. Hey. No, I was 31 when I got. Matter
31.
of fact, I
Okay.
was 31 after I turned 32. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I break these timelines down because it's very important to see. Like, I'm an educator, and
Right.
I've had a lot of kids I worked with that at this age, this
Yeah.
17 and 18-year age, they got hit with long time, 10, 12
Right.
years.
Right.
So they never got to experience adulthood
Right.
in the real world.
Hmm.
And now you're at an age of an adult, like a middle-aged
Right.
adult, not quite middle-aged yet, but an older adult, but you
Right.
haven't really experienced the life of an adult.
Right.
And however, I look at, and like you kind of said, you were happy being locked down, right? Because
Hmm.
of where your mind was, right, at the
Right.
time. I think it was a blessing
Right.
that the way it went down, and that you were apprehended at an early age rather than being apprehended after you did so much dirt that one, because you know what happened, like how you got bagged for
Yeah.
one thing, all the other stuff came up. Like
Right.
10 more years on the street, you
Sure.
might have
Right.
never got out of prison if you got caught. Two more
For
years
sure.
on the street, maybe
Right.
6 more months on the
Hmm.
street, and I believe that like it was you being a religious God fearing man. It was angels. There's a guy named
Hmm.
Damon West, and he was in this. I thought I mentioned him to you when we spoke before about he wrote a book about being a coffee bean, about you never let people change you, you change people by who
Right.
you are, and that's what resonated with me and you, was that like I felt the change. I don't need to
Right.
see it. I don't need to know your history. I just felt that you were ready to be a different person. And being a different person means that you don't make mistakes. You still make
Right.
mistakes. Doesn't mean you don't think about making mistakes. You don't mean you don't have thoughts that are a little off. It just means that you know in your mind you're changing.
Right.
And I felt that. And um even though like I would describe you as somebody that, like, straight, like you said, you're a hustler. But a
Yeah.
hustler, I'm a hustler,
Right.
right? I work like
Yeah. Oh
13,
yeah. Yeah.
and you're just taking the energy from
Hmm.
one lifestyle and transforming it into another. And
Right.
I believe like you're being used. Like God
Hmm.
is using you
Hmm.
to help those around you.
Right.
Through your story and your actions. And you don't have to be famous, and everybody doesn't have to know you, because you can change 3 or 4 lives. Like this podcast, and people hearing the story, like, oh shoot, this man changed, and you didn't change. You changed because of you and whatever you were doing. You didn't change because your father took you under your wing, or your uncle took you under your wing, or
Right.
you changed because of you.
Right.
And that's important for people to know, because sometimes, like, we all think that someone's gonna come in, that a superhero is gonna come save us. That
Right.
Superman gonna fly in and save us and take us away, or Daddy gonna come back and grab us and say, "Hey, here it is." And sometimes we gotta trust in us, in our spiritual beliefs. And
Right.
I believe you doing. I believe you doing
And
that, brother.
and that's the most important thing right there. Trusting that spiritual belief. Because if you don't, you'll never hear that voice. If you keep blocking it out, you'll never hear it, man. It'll never come to you. To some, maybe you try to have you just down and like, damn, I need help. You really that's been like, man, I need help.
Wow. So now, when your time was getting close to being out, what was going through your mind? Was it fear of coming back? Was it fear of what am I gonna do? Like what was like?
Uh, I wouldn't say I had no fear. Oh no, I was more like, yeah, I gotta hit this ground running. I need to make it happen. And it's like I got out here. Well, reality hit you. Like, boy, slow down. Stop playing around. Go ahead, take one step at a time. You ain't got to rush. It's gonna come. You ain't got to be frustrated. Everything gonna play itself. Now when I'm telling you, I'm trying to speed but I gotta slow it down. It's a process. Stuff don't happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was for me. It's like when I got out here, it was like I never left. I feel like I never. It wasn't like, oh man, I'm out. It was like, oh, I'm out. It wasn't like, yeah, I was happy to see my family and stuff like that, but it wasn't like, man, this is crazy. It was like, I don't know. I was like, I was always here because my mind I ain't let my mind be stuck inside prison. So it's like I was always on the outs. Like, I got to stay out there. Don't let my mind be confined in just what's going on here, the prison stuff. Like, I wasn't trying to hear that. Hey, listen here. I ain't trying to hear that. Not right now. That stuff, I got bigger stuff to worry about. You talking about some prison stuff, some jail stuff. I don't want to hear that. There's more stuff bigger than that. You worried about that? I'm cool. But when I got out, though, it was like it was more what I want to use relieving a stress reliever. It's like, yeah, okay, now I ain't got to worry about that anymore. Being in there, locked down every day, I know I'm cool. I got a little more freedom now, even though I'm still walking with this bracelet and still walking with parole. That's a piece of cake, man. That's better than being in there. Still got to walk that down. So it's like, it's patient. Because once this come off and I get off parole, that's where a lot of things gonna really open up more. So I'm just being patient.
And how do you feel? So I've been arrested 10, 11 times. I got a pardon in 2021, and everything I did in my life, I did with the criminal record. So I became a teacher with the criminal record. I opened my business with the criminal record.
Right.
Like I did all this with the criminal record. And what inspired me to get the pardon was I was trying to get an Airbnb, and the misdemeanor came up, and they rejected me and said I couldn't get this Airbnb because of my misdemeanor 22 years ago. And that was inspiration to me. I was like, are you kidding me? I could go stay in any hotel around the world. I've been staying around the world. I'm an educator. I've been teaching for 25 years, and I can't stay in an Airbnb because they ran like a fabricated like background check.
Right.
And so that's what inspired me. Do you feel like there's something that people, and have you experienced like that, oh, you got a bracelet, oh, like that you're bad, or like do you feel like that people give that energy to you when you tell your story sometimes, or they know your story?
Yeah, I sometimes like you got a bracelet, but I'd be like, nah, I ain't got a bracelet. That's in the past. That ain't me. That ain't me. I can show you the new me. It's like, I don't know. I ain't trying to sound cocky or arrogant, but it's like when you know you one with God, man, it's like all things are possible. Now, I don't know about nobody else, what they saying, but I know I seen, I heard him, and it was like, dang, that's deep. So it'd be like, oh, that's, embrace that. That's, I don't know. No, you saying like, but you got this, or you got this background, you ain't gonna, what that mean? Anything. It's probably like you said, you're a teacher, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I embrace that. I accept it.
Yeah,
because I went through it.
I struggled with that because one of my convictions was a domestic conviction, and so it was like everybody perceived me as this person that was beating up women. That's basically, you have a domestic case. That's what it looks like, and I did some stuff to get arrested, but I didn't go home. I didn't wear the white beat and go home and smack up my girlfriend every night. Like, and that's the perception that people have when they don't really know your story. And you feel like there was times where I felt like I had to always explain myself about what I did until I became so confident in who I was that that story was only fueled and made me better. Like my life wouldn't be that made me who I am today. That process going through that. That pain, that struggle was my power. The pain was my power. That struggle was my success. And I just feel that with you. I feel that these years, and when you put it behind you, like it's behind you. And I think there were times where I know I didn't do something or react to something because I was like, okay, I'm like, even when I was off probation, I go, okay, if I get in trouble for this, they're gonna look at what I already did, and they're gonna throw the book at me, right?
No, for sure.
So for a long time, that kind of like having that burden, like it was almost like God was watching me. He wasn't he was always been watching me, but it was like, okay, I can't do this because, and that I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing.
Right.
I didn't like it, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
Now, and I could relate to that. me being in the situation I am now, it'd be situations occur to where it'd be like, bro, I'm really like I'm not like that, but I could get like that. But it'd be like, man, that's tricking me out of my spot. You could have that. I ain't gonna, because one thing I'm tell you, when I was the same way I was in prison, like I'm a talker, I'm a thinker. I like to talk before I react, just off of my emotion. So if I get in an argument with you, I'm trying to, hey, hold on, let's get some understanding before I had to put these hands on you. Not saying I'm the best fighter, but I'm a crash out. I'm a crash out. I got to get you before you get me. So it's like, I'm not trying to be that person. So I'm gonna let you know who William is instead of Greasy. Greasy was my nickname that the streets gave me. I was crazy. But I'm gonna let you know, William, hey, listen, let's talk about what's wrong. Can I come talk to you? Let's talk like a man. Or we can't get past that point. All right, let's go ahead and get it solved with. But it'd be situations right now in the real world, but it's where I'd be like in my head, like, man, oh, you don't understand. You testing me. But I'm gonna let it go. I'm on probation, ankle monitor. I see how this going. But I'm seeing the signs because I'm a thinker. I see it all. I see it laid out. But I'm like, damn, do I want to go back there? Or do I want to continue my freedom? Go ahead, get off my and remove myself from all the negative stuff that I got going. You know what I'm saying? It's like this only temporarily. So it'd be like, I see it. It'd be tempting.
And
Like they said, temptations. You can't get me. You not that easy. That's how you gonna get me? Stop playing. Guys, you trying to get
that's
me?
the devil.
Mm.
That's the devil at work.
Oh yeah.
If your spiritual essence is like mine,
Mm.
when I'm doing good, something or someone tries to put something there to test my character, to test my
Oh yeah.
integrity, to see
Right.
if I am who I say
Say
am
I am.
today.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. For
Right.
sure.
So if I say I'm this, and then
Yeah.
you push some buttons, and I turn around and I break your jaw, right
Right.
now I'm not who I said I was,
Right.
and that's the devil at work. And
Mm-hmm.
those are the things that I think as you mature, you recognize that
Mm-hmm.
okay, I know this game, and then you keep it moving, and that frustrates people more than anything when they cannot get you to change your character based on
Right.
behavior. Like your
Mm.
character, like whether you're nice to me or mean to me or disrespectful to me, who I am is always who I am.
You're gonna be in. Right. Facts. You can't change that.
And that once we get on that level, once you get on that level that your character doesn't change, then that's when the devil is like, man, I really got to get this dude. So they're gonna go
Yeah.
deeper and deeper.
Diva.
It's easy when you're on the street and you know it's easy to all you gotta do is look at a dude funny.
Yeah.
But
Facts.
once you start to change, now they got to start trying to take it a little bit further.
Yeah. You'd be like, you trying to do that. That's the best you came up with. That's the
Yeah.
best you could do, man. Stop it. Knock it off. Stop playing. But no, that's
So
good.
rehabilitation. So let's talk about this. I've done a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
programming with prisons, and they say it's a rehabilitation system. And although you make great growth in life, how do you feel about the rehabilitation of prison?
it's
Or
poor
is it a rehabilitation system?
if you want it to be. It ain't no rehabilitation. Because if it was rehabilitation, the staff in there that's in there, they'd be working and that for you, not just for the state or coming in and get a check. You working like a teacher. I'm coming in here to teach. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some people in there that's dropping jewels off. That's give you some stuff, but it'd be more so like might have a couple white. And I don't like getting into the racial thing, but this is what it is. When you're in the inside, this is what's going on. You have a lot of black people that's really dropping it on you, like, man, listen, this is what's going on out there. This is how you get this. You could apply for stuff like this. And the stuff I was getting, it was this white dude, the inmate. It was my dude. He came up and gave me some papers on credit. And he said in the last joint, the warden came to the case manager. Like, yeah, don't be giving people that type of information. But it's papers on credit, how to build your credit and how to get property and how to give you the step by step on how to build $50,000 cards. And each one to max them out and get apartments and rent them out and build your credit. It was like, don't be giving them that type of. I'm like, damn, that's deep. But it'd be more, the black CEOs are really trying to help or give you some games or really sit down and talk to you. Don't get me wrong, you got a few white ones, but majority of them, they be on some hillbilly, beat your nigger. They be on that type time. I done went through that. They on they racist time. They is full fledged on it. They trying to beat you. It was like, I didn't even know this stuff still exists until I went to the prison.
It is so. So you say that I talked to several people that did like long bids, especially southern bids, like
Yeah.
in Ohio, North Carolina, Texas, and they
Mm-hmm.
said prison is more racially structured than any
Yeah.
place in society that they ever been.
Yeah, facts.
Is that kind of true? Like you
Yeah.
are segregated on who you are as a race.
Yeah. Only people that don't stick together is black people. Every other race, the white people stick with the white people. The Hispanics stick with the Hispanic. You got a couple Asians in there. You see like 3, 4 Asians. They sticking with each other. Only people, we the deepest in there, so it's like we ain't sticking with each other. We all be against each other. Don't get me wrong though. If it was some racial stuff popped off, then that's when we come together, just like on the streets. But it's like we so deep, we just be all against pitted against each other. Like everybody over here, over there. But don't get me wrong. Sometimes you had that unity with all the gangs coming together, and it's nothing but peace. You feel what I'm saying? Because you got thoroughbreds in there. Everybody, they getting money. They doing this, they doing that. So we keeping the peace down. Don't get me wrong. You got the little hotheads, and that's how it always is. But we all working out together. We eating together. We doing stuff together. We kicking it. But when the administration see that, they'll try to stir it up. They try to it's like the violence level down. They trying to stir it up for some reason. They try to put this gang leader in the block with this gang leader, opposite gang, just to stir some stuff up. Like, yo, yeah, I don't like him. I heard he been. It's like see who the really the macho. It'd be stuff like that going on instead of like, oh, we got some new programs coming out that can help y'all rehabilitate yourself. They ain't got stuff like that. They got college in there. People taking advantage of it. But it's like it's only limited to a very few. But it's like rehabilitation. You really gotta. I ain't gonna lie. It's like you gotta get that on your own. Ain't nobody rehabilitate. They not putting no billboards or bulletin boards up and showing you like, okay, we got these programs, we got this program, we can sign. That's really beneficial and conducive to the outside world. They ain't got stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. They got job interview stuff. But as we really going to a job interview?
And as an educator for 25 years, the public school system doesn't prepare kids for the real world either.
No, they don't.
And that's why people say the pipelines from like if you look at the similarities between how a school is built and how a prison is built, yeah, they have that same model. And that's why the most successful people and the biggest networks of financial networks, they don't. If you go to one these private schools, they don't look nothing like a public school. They look like houses. Yeah. Right. So yeah, we could talk on that one for forever, brother. And I'm appreciative. Like when I bring people on this show, I say my circle is amazing, and people search for fame. People search for like, oh, I know this, like I know this person, and oh, this person's a rapper, and this person got 2 million views, and I don't look at life like that. I look at the little people like you and me are the people that change our circle, and by changing your circle, you make the people around you more beneficial. And we can't change the world or our circle looking at the bigger picture of people that we inspire to be like that we're never going to meet, never going to touch, never going to shake hands with, and all that stuff. So I look at the people around me as amazing beings because to me, they are like you. Like if I looked at Damian West and I read his book, The Coffee Bean, I look at you on that level because of what you've been through and how you came, like you said, you came out, you went in prison a child. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. Like 17, you're 32, right? I'm gonna break you down. Yeah. You 32 years old. When I was 32 years old, I had 2 children. I was a boy.
Right.
I was straight up a boy. I had no idea what being a man was like in no capacity. I started learning how to be a man at like 40. And then now at 52, I'm actually figuring it out. Because now you got to learn and reteach all this stuff. I'm 52. Yeah, no,
What are
don't.
you looking?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about the age, but
You're
so
right.
when I had to go through that all these transformations, it's you're doing this from 17. So I just want you to put this 17 boy come out presented as a man, but in
Right.
reality, I say this to anybody, and I don't mean to disrespect anybody in this manner. When you go to prison, your life stops. So if you were 17
Right.
when you went to prison, when you come out at 30, you're 17. Now,
And I'm right. But no, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah. Sometimes it might rain, sometimes it might snow, sometimes you might cry, be sad, you know. But that's shades of a man, baby. Shades of a man. Shades of a man. Sometimes you might stop, sometimes you might go. You might make mistakes, but that's just how you grow. Shades of a man, baby. Shades of a man. Shades of a man.